Okay, your stream's kind of frozen. I mean,
Streams.
your Discord stream.
Oh. Yeah, you know, because I haven't done anything with it. Yep. Is it working?
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Yeah, yeah, it works.
We're back with. What did I title the stream? Ow. Um. Right, we titled it Lawyers Plays Great Ace Attorney Chronicles Part 2. Voice acting stream, bar, chat and commentary, bar, Discord, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter.
Okay.
Thank you. What happened? So we realized that
There was actually there was actually a woman in the place, but it was kind of covered up.
yeah, and that Kazuma clearly is a thing for MC.
I mean, if you think that's the case.
Case. Good pun. 22nd November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendant's Antechamber 5. Oh my god, it's him.
Okay. Excellent work, Rinosuke. That was superb.
Ugh. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. Oh my god.
It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there,
Oh my god.
you were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth.
Oh my god. Jeez.
He's very observant.
Yeah.
It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer.
Oh, thank you, bestie. Forget it. It's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again.
Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last.
Oh!
Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain. Is she?
That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along.
Yes, you have, haven't you?
I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of.
Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems.
Mm.
Did you see what happened with that?
No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. And after I bent down and picked it up, bang. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen.
Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay.
Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area.
Hmm.
Xylus, you want to read this?
No,
Isn't this the professor?
Oh wait, was
I
it
have a
me?
fever.
Oh, you do? Oh,
Yeah, I'm just here to
okay.
watch.
Okay. Hold on. 1 second. Adjusting volumes. Is that me or is that you?
That's what?
This voice. I forgot.
Oh, it was you.
Oh. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you.
Professor Mikotoba.
Well, seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say.
Yes. It seemed you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial.
Oh my gosh, Yuketsu's here and he says he's feverous. Yes, he is. No comment. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. It's every... I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled.
Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't even help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway.
What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma. Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man.
Stares at you.
To me, I can't look at Kazuma, it's too hot. Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Ooh. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UME. And it was I who invited him. Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, I see.
I didn't know that before.
Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible.
But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide.
Oh! Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck! Thank you!
He's saying it like it's not even a life or
Yeah.
death situation.
Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course! I'm running out of voices.
I can voice her.
Okay.
No, I won't. Good
Ah.
luck, Kazuma-sama. Bows.
It's a good voice, don't get me wrong.
Defendant Naruhodo. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once.
Oh my god, he actually says it.
It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what's hit them.
Kazuma?
What?
Thank you, really.
What for?
Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now.
Oh my god.
I know, right?
Jesus.
Look, I have
Just go
faith
out
in you.
already. Oh my god.
As a lawyer and as a friend.
Coming from you, that means a lot.
Oh boy.
As a friend, and historians will say that they were best friends. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really gonna give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose.
Very soulful.
All right then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. He really just blacked out and stared at his buddy.
You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street.
It's a date.
Oh my god, it
With
is.
an extra large portion, of course.
Oh my god, it's a date. It's a date.
Yep.
22nd November, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2.
Hush whispers. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Auchi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
I like how they subpoena the witness in like half an hour. Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling. Stripling?
I don't know.
I don't know. The prosecution is now under painful scrutiny from the government. Ugh.
I mean,
Sorry.
of course it is.
Yeah.
Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
Damn.
They literally committed perjury.
True.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forge with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation flounders? Again, terribly sorry.
If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on.
Oh my god, Kazuma, you're gonna get charged too.
You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or England?
Shut up.
Saying this is England.
Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy. You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. Ow. I hit myself for impact. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student. And one who could arguably study harder too. Me for real. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Oh!
Ugh. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror, that is.
You little brats!
Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Yes. Your Excellency!
What?
They spelled it with like 7 Y's or something. Oh, she has a swan hat. I do love a good swan hat.
Is that a
was
dress
the
or
one
does
that
she have a
covered-
tail?
I have no idea.
So I was doing to take over the inspector for you.
Yes, please.
Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan. And from such a distant land. He sounds creepy now. I'm sorry.
Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea.
Wait,
Oh, that's great.
why
This
is the
is
judge
amazing.
so fucking...
He's trying to accommodate.
The judge is always
Oh,
like this in every game, come on.
yeah, he's so cute. He's trying to accommodate. Is that true?
No idea.
So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Would you like to do this?
Sure.
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaka. I've been working undercover as the head waiter at the carnival, but my true...
Yes, we know all about you already.
Oh my god.
Inspector Hosonaka, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first.
God.
Oh my god.
Is that true?
Stereotyping. The goddamn
No
stereotyping is
idea.
real.
Thank you, Cosmo. Very cool.
More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me.
Oh,
You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of.
the date. Oh, never
The
mind.
date. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, yes. I think I did, didn't I?
Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman.
Keep it in your pants, Cosmo.
No, it's jealousy. What do you mean?
Oh, okay, yeah, we stand. Okay, in that case, we stand.
Sorry, Rinosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking.
Oof.
Guilty.
Couple's first fight.
Oh my god. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. Swan head. I think that's a dress.
Bring out the English accent.
Oh dear god. Me, me, at sign, me, meow.
What the fuck?
Look at it. Look at it.
Oh, she said la mien.
Lame and sardines, I'm
Yeah.
Anna, umami,
Mom.
amimia.
Yeah, me mean.
You want to try doing that in English accent?
No.
Um,
Uh, uh,
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what?
this is English. The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England.
Oh, we don't actually hear her voice. Damn.
She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Yume University's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people.
He's so creepy.
I'm afraid I don't understand a word he said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song.
Doesn't understand either.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough.
So smart. Yes, I agree. Haha, you'll obviously do fine in England, Cosmo. Your English doesn't rattle you at all, does it?
Or you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English
Oh my
classes,
god, stop
Rinosuke.
flirting, girl.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Enough flirting.
The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? She says, yes.
There's no way that
There's
long
no
ass
way that
took
was just a yes.
Yes.
This could take some time.
So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese.
That's xenophobic. I don't know, man.
Mm, mm,
What the hell?
She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Interesting, when you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
I like that she has an entire goose for a hat. Me too, Shiketsu. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Oh god, I'm just making him creepier and creepier. Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the
Jesus.
wicked perpetrator? Perhaps? Oh no, he sounds. Oh no, I'm making him sound like a Discord mod. Me 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 me.
Hmm. Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight.
Thunderbolts and lightning.
Do you
Very
mean to
frightening.
say? Yes. It would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood.
Seriously, more perjury? Come on.
Oh, I like how half of the swan thing turns into the tail of her dress.
That's true. Order, court.
Did Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. Damn it. Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Hmm. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is.
Oh!
The lady, clearly.
Oh my god. Women.
Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please.
Wait, how is it? It's technically not perjury in this case since the lady didn't say any lies but her butler instead. I think you can.
Wait.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
but you'd be.
And
Wait,
they technically don't know if he's translating it correctly, though.
that's what I thought it was also. If the question is whether it's perjury because the butler's translating, then you would trust that he's translating faithfully, which means everything that comes out of his mouth is basically her words. So if she
Yep.
were to lie to court, it would count.
Oh.
Yeah, but if it's the case where they're talking about the butler straight up not telling the truth, initially, then there could be a case against the butler police inspector. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described.
The "we'll see" is so ominous. Go on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, you have to in British.
Mm-hmm. Is that better?
Uh-huh.
Ah.
I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only beef steak.
Beef steak.
Hmm. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes.
Of.
I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Hmm. This is a condemning testimony indeed.
No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection! Be quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard! And look at this snow-white angel!
Oh my god.
I'm sure. Sorry, too high.
I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words this court's gonna believe. Ugh.
You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn.
Ugh, but he's so annoying
And creepy.
and
Of
creepy.
course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm.
I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she
know,
wanted to.
right?
Yeah, honestly.
Under the hat, under the
the
skirt.
skirt.
So
Everywhere.
many places.
Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
This is like
Court.
the second case in Danganronpa.
Oh god.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun.
I have so many places to hide a gun.
Those are the witness's own words on the matter.
No way. Ah, that's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Yeah, go get him, Ryunosuke.
Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke.
But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun that day.
You're right about that.
She hid the...
Means
Sorry, yeah.
this lady was hiding a gun somewhere.
Shuketsu says she hid the gun on her chest. Wait, it's under the hat. It could be under anything.
Could be anywhere.
Could be anywhere.
Yes.
If it's
That's what we
actually
have
under
to
the-
prove now.
If it's actually under the hat, I'll be quite impressed.
And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart.
Do we see her eye? Ooh. She smirked.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Remember going to moot court and spending a majority of my time bungling the Your Excellency, Your Honor, my lord.
Your Highness.
Yes, I said Your Highness. Hmm,
Your Royal Highness.
I'm gonna press this, I guess.
Just press everything.
Press everything, right?
Yeah.
Hi.
We don't need to read the press stuff. Do you want to read the press stuff?
After 2 p.m. In fact, that's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
You don't keep out the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are en vogue, isn't that right?
What does he know?
Sorry. No. It's a costume. It's a costume. Oh, that's great. Ugh.
A decisive English no has quite a sting to it.
Oh my god.
The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. One of the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first.
Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier.
That's right. Miss Bird and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which was why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense.
Such wonderful logic.
What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is.
Okay, sure.
Please let me suck on your little goose hat thing.
So, you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next?
Okay. Should I press this? I think I can skip.
Isn't this sus?
Professor's
She
unable to
ordered.
eat.
No, but she said she only ordered a beefsteak. There was
Oh, she
also
had
water on the
the.
tip.
She did have a water. He was
Wasn't it
unable to
wine?
eat, you say. Or was it wine or water? Forgot.
It was sparkling water.
And that was because he just had a tooth removed at Hota Clinic, correct?
That's right.
You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering.
Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? Seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment.
So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett?
There's something sus.
Looks a bit sus.
That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events.
Exactly as it was left. Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to such a distant land on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I'll crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So, the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right. Other than some carbonated water.
Wait a minute. Yeah, but the beefsteak was facing him. I remember that. Yeah. That doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah. Oh well, we
We'll
can
figure it out.
continue.
Just water?
Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So, it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each.
Oh my god. Wait, I know. There's only one glass of water.
That you are right.
Hmm. But we can't present this.
I mean, they might add new dialogue.
Okay. They each raised a glass of carbonated water.
What do you think, Runosuke, about the witness's last statement?
Very meaningful. That looks pretty fancy for a bottle of water. That's true. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing,
The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right.
Sorry, Cosmo said a lot of nothing, a whole lot of nothing in this one sentence.
He really did. He's such
It's
a
all
lawyer.
fluff.
He
The
is.
defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well sidestepped, counsel, my learned friend.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said.
A little eye mask. Do the eye thing.
Oh my god.
That was brilliant, Cosmo. I'm going to remember that one.
Which one?
Significance will
one.
become apparent when the time is right. I could really
What?
use that phrase.
What?
I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Rinosuke.
Oh
Even
my
he
God.
knows it meant nothing.
He's emoting mask.
Okay, you can probably present that, I guess.
Yeah. Hi! That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left.
That is correct, the lady says.
Well, it's odd. Very odd. Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. Ugh.
Rinosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you?
Well, obviously, it's the cheers. Oh, he's so dumb. The cheers? Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water.
Oh, no, she got it right. He got it right.
But if that's true, I was so worried he'd get it wrong.
Yeah.
There should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1.
Oh. Ugh. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae? My bad.
Isn't that what lawyering is about?
Yes. What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
How do you pronounce this word?
I think it's minutiae. As in,
Yeah,
like,
I mean-
minute details.
Yeah.
Is it Latin?
Probably. Yeah, if it's law related, it's probably Latin. Minutiae, I assume.
Let's double check on Google.
Yep.
Oh. Minutia, you say?
Minutia?
Yeah. But the British pronunciation is minutiae.
Oh god.
What?
Sorry,
That is
minutiae.
wild.
That is pretty wild.
Minutiae?
Minutiae.
Are you
yeah.
serious? Yeah, no, I agree. Wait, sorry, so it's... How do you pronounce it?
So American pronunciation according to Google is minutia,
Minutia. British?
and British pronunciation is minutiae.
Minutiae. Minutiae?
Yeah,
Wow, I'm gonna remember that forever, Kazuma.
minutia, you say.
English is a silly language.
Could it be that the detective here removed the glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless.
But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try and tell me you can clink with only 1?
You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table.
So she's hiding the other glass in her
It's
skirt.
under the hat.
Me. Me.
It's probably got blood on it or something.
Me.
Maybe it's like poison.
Inspector, what did the lady say?
But he died to gunshot wound.
It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table.
What?
What?
It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying.
She doesn't look panicked to
Good
me.
gracious!
I bet that when she's panicked, the hat will go up and then we'll see her eyes or something. Because that's what always happens.
Oh, you'll see.
The Pokemon surprise
Yeah, yeah.
reaction thing. You know, the hand goes up in the air.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Sorry.
That wasn't British enough.
Sorry.
Yes, good.
Sorry, love.
Oh god, that's too British. There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that a student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or two in her state of disarray? That's absurd. Too deep. Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief?
Mischief? It's murder.
What? No, no, no. This can't just be put down to mischief.
Yeah.
I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene.
Me, 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 me.
The goose will emote. That's true.
It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England.
So, this beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on this case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. Oh, I still have Xylus's fan with me. I could play with it for like immersion. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we can consider this matter to have no bearing on the case.
Oh my god.
Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement?
Well, I don't know really.
If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance.
Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. It has a deeper significance there. It's probably the handbag.
Probably.
Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up.
Oh my god, what an ass.
It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Except she has everywhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun.
You're right!
The court's gonna start whispering, oh.
Well done, partner. I had a feeling you pick up on
Oh
that one
boy.
too.
That was not helping.
I know it. He's like that psychic type gym leader. I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh, yeah. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce that there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting. Inspector Hosonaga,
Yes.
did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder?
No, sir. I did not.
As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Order.
Order! Order! Order!
What
is the meaning of this, Inspector?
He's awful at his job.
Yep.
Meaning of what? Prosecutor Ouchie.
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner.
Partner.
Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask.
Do you think so, Cosma?
Oh my god, just kiss already, Jesus.
I know, right? Oh no, he's going back. It's the plague.
Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly, you have no faith in the police.
Because he did do his job.
As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary.
What?
Unnecessary in what way?
I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I'd completely forgotten about.
Oh my god.
It's the handbag, isn't it?
Ah,
This photographic print.
oh, it's a clear bag, of course.
This print is a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting.
Oh, pray tell, what is that? The thing in his hand there.
So why
can
did
see,
he, like, take a picture of
Clearly
the
shows
woman's
Miss
bag? What the
Brett's
hell?
handbag.
Don't know. Maybe like candid.
Why, never. You can see right through to what's inside.
I was gonna make a joke. There was gonna be one of those, you know, knitted produce, like knitted or crochet produce bags, but it really is.
That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious.
Ah,
As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san.
wah!
Order! Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency.
Photograph of the handbag has been entered into the court record.
I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel.
This is me for real.
The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance. I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed, and there is only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than when I was in the start. Oh no, he's sad. Kazuma. Oh no, he's hot when he's sad.
I'm sorry, Rinosuke.
Oh!
Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue.
What?
Yes,
You
there
mean
is.
this is it?
I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weak are meat, while the strong eat.
What?
You are wasting your time. There is no way to defeat true justice. That's the thing, he's not a bad guy, he's just doing his job.
That's true.
But the way he's talking and insinuating things is very unprofessional.
That's true.
He's just an ass.
A fact you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
Oh boy.
Oh.
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? He wouldn't be in a cell, right? He'd be like sentenced to death or something.
Yeah.
And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers.
That's what he cares
Fingies.
about. Oh my god, so cute.
Yeah.
Little fingies.
Oh my god.
Little fingies. Kazuma.
What?
Is there really... Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around?
You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue.
Bang.
Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems
That's,
we will
that's
be...
so inaccurate.
Yeah. What do you mean they didn't take 3 weeks to
Yep.
write a judgment?
Exactly. The fastest I've seen was like 6 hours.
That's actually pretty fast.
That's really
I
fast.
saw like 3 days. I thought it was pretty
But
fast.
yeah.
Uh,
But you know, that one would have been dragged out for months on end. So I think he already formed the judgment. He just needed to.
It seems we will be able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smug little.
hold on. What does Ryunosuke have on his arm?
I don't know.
Oh.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me.
Oh, sorry, that was me. Wait, Your Excellency.
Ryunosuke?
I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection. This amateurishness is
He's
getting...
not even using words anymore.
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Hi. Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean... Oh my god, he did the table slam correctly. Then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
That is blatant straw clutching. Look at the photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke.
Try not to be sent to death, Kazuma.
I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly. The new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Has to be this thing right here.
Ah, my thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph that just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it.
Very well. I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
Oh! What?
Oh.
But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect.
Oh my god, he's playing with the gavel.
Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Your Excellency.
So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before me. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded.
Let me think.
I
Yeah, I
think
don't.
it's that.
Yeah, I don't see anything else.
I think that.
I look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist.
That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description. Gasp in British.
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say? On the victim's wrist? Clearly, that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. Oh.
Hmm.
Yes, that is a burn mark. You're right.
Thinking it could be like when you fire a gun, the chamber or something, when it explodes out that heat. I
Check
don't
the
know.
court record and you'll know what the burn mark is from.
Now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you can
saw it
check it
just now
now, yeah.
too.
Check the photo of the table.
Yep, the fifth one. Fifth one. No, fifth one.
Steak can lunch can be seen. Oh, it's the hot plate, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my god. Hot plate. Okay.
So he touched the thing.
Mm.
Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark.
Imagine dying to a murder and like the whole court's clowning on you and your weird burn because you could not touch the hot plate.
However, as Prosecutor Alchi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn.
Oh,
Me, 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 me,
Hmm.
me, 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 me.
Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the dean and other university staff.
What? You can't just do that.
yeah, what?
Would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging in the hope I might uncover something useful.
Yes, you're right.
I am?
If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise the shutting door back open again.
Oh,
Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence, evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it. I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face.
Oh.
oh my god. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. Then yell at Kazuma for staring at the witness. this is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means.
So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial.
I...
What's this, counsel? Yet another print?
Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked in a time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. Sighs in British. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have the unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore.
What? How?
Objection. You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn? The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on.
Plate? Ah. Ah!
Your Excellency.
Are you alright?
He noticed it.
Yeah. As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of Le Carnival.
Ah.
The emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. Ah!
Renosuke, you genius! You're spot on.
Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection. But even if that's the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well,
Objection. Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim.
thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But
Let's say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And, although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure.
Can you be more specific, Inspector?
Well, let's see. If the plate was around at 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I have been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I have not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of Le Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
you're a detective, not a waiter.
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who has burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that.
And yet, Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day or any before it.
That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either.
What are you suggesting?
He was dead when he got the mark. Well, even if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day.
That
3
would be
seconds is a long
beyond
time.
careless, I think, Counsel.
Yeah, like 1,000,
Yeah.
2,000. Yeah,
Yeah,
Usually, the moment you touch, you can feel it already.
yeah.
true.
Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie? Eh? Well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? Ugh.
Oh. I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think?
Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from in one particular situation.
Counsel, are you suggesting?
Yes, it's only possible. If the man was already dead.
Uh,
Already?
Dead?
Gasps in British.
the gasp.
Mm. Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's madness!
Order, 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 please. Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp of facts.
Objection. No. Prosecutor Ouchie, it's you who has no grasp of the facts.
Damn, he really said that.
I beg your pardon.
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from the witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it.
Gasps in British.
Incredible.
One moment.
I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But Your Excellency.
Rolls eyes in British.
The
You rolled
justice
eyes.
system in our country may be in its infancy. But rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I'm prepared to pass judgment.
Beyond reasonable doubt, baby. Thank you, Your Excellency. Ooh.
That's weird.
Oh, I thought she was going to say something. What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean... Oh! Oh my.
She speaks.
She
Oh,
speaks Japanese. Oh my god. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. Oh!
Oh,
Ah, but Miss Brett, you speak Japanese? I knew it. I knew it. Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country, after all.
you can't roll the R's. When you...
Damn it! Spent too much
What?
time hanging out with the two of you.
Why have you been
What?
speaking through an interpreter until now?
Okay, so there are like accents or dialects that have an R full. So if I remember correctly, I think standard American accents have an R full dialect,
Yeah,
right?
it's a very R. Yeah,
R
there's a lot of
heavy.
R sounds.
A
Right.
British accents receive pronunciation usually is not an R full dialect.
Nope,
So you
it
wouldn't
isn't.
stress your R, but because I hang out so much with you guys.
Really?
No, at the end.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait.
So I think one is like butter, 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 something like that.
Butter.
Yeah. But I spent so much time with you guys, I just the R full just comes out at this point. Okay,
Don't worry, we can practice
we'll
with this.
practice
You
it.
butter believe it. Oh.
Oh. Oh god. My mother.
I mean, if you want me to do it, I can do
Nah.
it.
I want to try it. Actually, do you both want to try it? Could be fun.
No.
For my mother tongue, the Queen's English is the most refined and elegant language in the world.
Oh my god, you just voice out. Wait. Sorry, I just thought of something really cursed.
What?
My mother tongue, the Queen English,
No.
Oh god.
is the
Oh,
most
god.
refined and elegant language in the world.
I
No,
hate you.
no.
I hate you.
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world.
Oh, that's good.
You can go ahead if you want.
Oh. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Ooh,
Oh my.
oh my god. Wait, do you want voice out or do you want just to
You can voice her.
Alright. Ah. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. God damn. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. Oh, yeah. Well, you are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. God, I hate... Ah. We are truly
assume.
honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. Curtsies in British. So, we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting. Rinosuke.
I could have given her, like, imagine if I had previously learned to do a Cockney accent. This would be so fun. Queen's English is a Cockney accent.
Wait,
Like, you're
Cockney
gonna have
is
to do
the
Cockney
very
accents.
exaggerated one, is it?
Yeah. I can't do it, but Tendies, can you do it?
Not quite.
I don't know what the key factors are for that. Yeah,
It's like a London accent more exaggerated.
quite,
Think.
yeah. Unfortunately, I have no idea where that poor man burnt his wrist like that.
Oh yeah, there's also some like Australian inflections.
dear.
Like no,
Nar.
Oh
no.
my god, it's Jason Statham's accent.
Yes, I think.
You taking a piss?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've
Oh, that's a
heard,
good.
the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. No, the besides was off. Oh, I love taking a piss all by yourself. That's Shiketsu on me.
Taking.
I can see that.
Oh, I love taking a piss all by yourself.
That's so much better. What?
Oh, that was really good, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do live in the country.
That's true. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please, do show me. But of
Love it.
course, this
Oh, exactly.
country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyways.
Wait, you might be right. It might be a poison.
Hmm?
'Cause
Shuketsu just says he's a handsome. Who's a handsome?
The butler guy.
Oh, he reminds me of another character, but I can't put my finger on it. He reminds me of William T. Spears from the hit manga series Black Butler, otherwise known as Kurositsuji.
It looks like William.
Not the vibes, also the glasses and how he pushes them up.
Oh. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down into the Supreme Court's history. Thank you.
Oh no, he's fallen for it too. Black Butler's still going, man. So good. Easy does
It's
it.
good.
It's good. No. Read it. Don't watch it. Watch it. I hope that this is the last time I'll have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Oh god, she's awful. I love her.
They're all simps. They're all simps.
They're all sips. See, the only Sigma males here are, Kazuma and Ryunosuke. Oh, not at all, not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, your lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's birth is utterly irrelevant.
Oh boy.
Oh god. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
Oh god, the threats.
The Minister of Justice.
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible.
Jesus.
God, she's awful. I love her so much. Do you think she would say amen or amen? Amen,
know.
right?
No.
Uh, let's check.
Isn't it amen?
Yeah, but depending on it's amen, right?
I think so.
Amen. Huh? Thanks. What was that a prayer then?
Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett. Put up with a cross-examination now.
Duh!
I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much.
Do you think a pitch should be higher or lower? I'm curious.
Higher.
Higher, yeah. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear?
Him. Yes, Your Excellency.
Then you may proceed with the cross-examination.
Ooh, cross-examination. They are some good models. Unfortunately, I have no idea why the poor man burnt his wrist like that.
You have to over-exaggerate the O sounds.
When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I
Brought.
raised... Brought?
Yeah.
Brought. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. No, I got it. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. It should be higher. As far as I heard, the postmortem report showed no other possible causes of death besides the gunshot. Did it, actually? If there is some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
I think it's
I think
poison.
it's poison, but like,
The fact that she kept her glass makes sense.
yeah.
But they wouldn't be able to detect it because they don't do autopsies in this country.
Oh, that's true. Shot in the front, subsequently died. I'm just gonna look through it again, I guess. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right. The carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Oh?
Oh, right. New gameplay mechanic.
Okay. It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand? Ah, a killer blow. The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Algie is finally starting to see sense.
I very much doubt that.
Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right.
What do you think, Rinosuke?
I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information.
Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over.
But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma.
What, Rinosuke?
There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me.
Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett?
Actually, no.
Doesn't look at women.
Oh my god. About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosonaga.
The detective?
Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe.
Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time.
If you think so.
Oh, sorry.
If you think so, but
this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective.
alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again. Unfortunately, I have no idea what a poor man burnt his wrist like. When the waiter brought my steak, the Professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report shows no other possible causes of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques wouldn't pick up on it anyways.
Oh,
It was just press.
yeah, press. Oh wait, no, target.
Okay.
I think you need to target them. Yeah.
Wait, how do I target?
I have no idea. The arrow keys? Oh no, you need to you need to press like a different person. So just skip through all of this.
Oh. Desmodi and this detective is just listening to what an English woman has to say. Oh, sorry, that's you.
This could be a golden opportunity.
What do you mean?
When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find that they often let their guard down.
You're right, look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts.
It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought.
Ooh, new gameplay mechanic. Sorry, pursue?
I'll explain how to do it now, Rinosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker.
What marker?
At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who is the person actually making the current statement. But by moving the marker left and right with A and D, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand.
But Kazuma, this is a real-life conversation.
While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with the spacebar.
Oh, I'll spacebar you, Kazuma.
You
Oh.
can catch the person just at the right time. You might uncover some new information to pursue.
That was a great line.
If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around.
Kazuma, what the fuck is a spacebar? Alright then, so first I should move the marker across with AD and focus on the detective. Then pursue him with spacebar. See what's on his mind. Here we go!
Exactly.
Exactly.
A and D.
Yeah.
Okay, pursue.
Excuse me!
Yeah. What's the meaning of this?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply.
It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say?
If there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court.
Objection! What is the meaning of this? It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately.
So, is that how it works? No.
Absolutely not.
Eh?
The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness.
Can you imagine having 6 witnesses, you crowd them in the box together? Yes! Not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case.
Inspector Osunaga. Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Well, yes. If you don't mind, I would like to speak. Panics in British. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless.
What do you really mean by that?
I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done.
So he
Grin.
took something from the autopsy.
Maybe he tried like the drugs, that's why he's coughing so much. Like not a lethal amount, but enough. But you're not wearing a watch. Crime scene thief.
Well, looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there.
Oh.
Take this, for example.
Oh. It is that?
This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question.
Oh my god, it really was poison.
And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says.
Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it.
One day, our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it.
Aww.
I can't, sir, condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. Court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence.
Carbonated water bottle has been entered into the court record.
Miss Brett. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death?
Yes. It was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question.
Oh my god, it's so obviously poisoned.
Yeah.
Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor.
Fervor. Unfortunately, I have no idea why the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. I should just press. Hi! As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water. Is that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at the time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, sir. Although,
Oh. Although... Poor guy, his entire case is crumbling.
whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that.
Damn you. That's too delicate.
Ah, I have enough English to understand that at least. For the benefit of others in the court, it means bless you.
Oh my god.
So
Uh,
dumb. They're all so dumb.
I think it means the exact opposite. Anyway.
As far as I heard, the postman refers to not a gunshot.
Oh yeah? Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma.
Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life.
But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter.
Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that.
And if the victim burnt his wrist on a hot plate as soon as he was brought up from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point.
Objection. And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time.
I concur. Prosecutor Ouchie is right.
Ah. Silent in British.
Press.
Pressing without leaving a trace? If someone is shot or strangled or stabbed or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body.
Quite right, your lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga?
As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation.
There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone exactly how you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh no, perish the thought. Calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question.
Oh god.
On my honor, I, Takis Yaochi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspersions.
A way of killing someone that leaves no trace.
We need some evidence to back us up here.
Yes, evidence.
Oh, maybe you could just go back to that statement and press it?
Yeah. I.
Oh, you already pressed this one?
Oh wait, you mean the other statement?
Yeah, no, as in, go back to the previous statement and present the bottle, I think. Maybe that will work.
Okay, just going through the pressing of the final statement again. How is his bandana shaking in the wind indoors? He's just exuding that Sigma Alpha energy. Okay. Time to go present the bottle. Not this one, right?
Fourth statement.
Labels written in a foreign language I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Cosmo?
I think it's French. This must be very expensive water.
Yes, but what does it say? That's all I was asking.
You go to France and ask.
You could just say you don't know.
What about the...
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
What about the nozzle of the bottle, or whatever it's called? Oh no.
The mouth?
Does it bring it in?
No, I was thinking
Oh yeah, the
liquid.
mouth. Oh yeah, the liquid.
So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had.
Looks like there's little left in the bottle, though it's just plain water now.
You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a sip of this to keep. Oh my god.
Why would you drink evidence? What the fuck?
I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going.
No, Rinosuke, you can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence.
It's like how they would tell of Gumshoe. I'm so hungry, pal. Oh, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we?
You never cease to amaze me, Rinosuke. In more ways than one.
Oh my god. I wonder. Could there be anything in this water?
What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of us. You've gone quiet all of a sudden.
I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility.
Okay, you can just present it.
Yep. Hi!
What is this? The bottle of water?
Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Silent in British. Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Poison?
On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside?
Ugh.
I plead the fifth in British. Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Yeah.
Order, order, order.
Ooh. And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could have possibly done it. There's only person who could possibly have done it.
Yeah, it's like the meat on bone.
Giselle Brett, it was you.
Objection. This is outrageous. To suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection. This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime.
What?
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth.
If I may.
I will silence you forever.
Oh!
Shut up.
Ooh.
Who said what?
He said shut up, but it came up in like cursive.
My god.
It is you. No, it is you who should be silent.
Oh, of course. Your lady.
Oh my god.
Where did that come from? She just snapped.
She's facing the front.
I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apology.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring?
I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not.
Oh my god. Why is it so draggy?
You did?
Have you forgotten
Like-
what my guiding principle is already?
The
Like,
thing,
we
Oh, yeah.
all know it's in the glass. Come on.
I
No,
mean,
that's true.
it's a kid's game.
Also, this is like the introductory one, so like it assumes you cannot follow logic at all.
I'm gonna say that if
wow.
nobody was here to baby me, it would actually probably take me a while.
I strive for a flawless investigation every time.
I don't believe it.
The first case is always like the most
Yeah,
has like super straightforward, obvious logic, and it just kind of leads you there.
it gets messier the more cases you do.
Oh my god,
Hmm.
it really does.
Right?
Naturally, we test the inside of the bottle and its contents.
Maybe some like special British poison.
And what did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. You could find no trace of poison or of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself.
No. I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours.
I was so sure.
This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think this cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit.
I'm done for.
The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett.
Oh no. I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Matter? Matter.
Yes.
Matter.
Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present to the court at this point?
Kazuma! Oh no. He has nothing to say. Oh
I'm sorry, Rinosuke. I have nothing more.
my god. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving. Oh, oh.
Who dis?
I like that she does a curtsy. Me too.
Please, wait.
Eh? Isn't that...
What is the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense.
What is he? Where is she? Like his daughter or something?
Yeah, she's the professor's daughter.
Mikotoba. In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in the furoshiki cloth.
I would experiment with giving the Japanese characters like Asian accents, but I think I would be racist doing it.
What if, could you try like toning it down? You could like do like a light one. I don't know what that means, but
Yeah, this is one of the longest first cases you'll
it's
ever
quite a
see.
long first case, yeah.
And technically the second case isn't actually a case.
Oh, okay. 22nd November, 1:14 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. Bang.
Well, I understand you are the judicial assistant to the defense, but why this sudden ingress into my courtroom?
Huh, a judicial assistant. And a woman, no less.
I knew it. I knew it was gonna pass me later.
Wow.
The rules state that females are not permitted. That females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify.
Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense.
Huh, you're too late, little girl. The trial has already been concluded.
5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
But, Your Excellency,
I'm most grateful.
I wonder what Deus Ex Machina this is. Oh, she joined us. Who exactly are you?
I'm sorry, there's no time. Please, simply accept this for now.
Getsu says, motherfucker, you don't decide when the trial is finished. That's the judge's job. What is this? A report about something. Written in English.
It's Giselle Brett's research.
Oh my gosh, she's doing research on poisons, I bet.
Uh,
English woman's?
After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper.
You stole it.
Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she?
So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case?
I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself.
No, no, of course not.
Special characteristics of curare and its effects on human subjects. Interesting.
You rare? What's that? I've never heard that word before.
Time's up. The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this
Female!
trespasser from the courtroom.
There's too little time for me to read it in detail. But I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it.
Where's every legal intern? This is wonderful.
Hurrah.
Thank you. Unknown poison she's been researching. Okay.
Goodbye then, and good luck. Change the world, my final message. Goodbye. We've had a long enough council. We cannot detain our English guest any longer.
Yeah, she just faded away. Just fizzled out.
I ask the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Rinosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance.
Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence.
That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett?
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer.
Oh, Bushido. It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. Let's get past it.
Forgive me, Miss Brett. Seems I wasn't clear. I realized it was phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat that as an order.
Ooh. I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady.
She does have something against her.
He doesn't.
Ooh, take that, you cunt.
Wait, has he played this game before?
Wait, yeah, have you played this game before? This is important.
I mean, I've played it before. I know what
Yeah,
happens.
that's true. No, he has not.
Oh.
Okay.
So, counsel,
Play it together.
what is this new evidence that demands the court's attention?
Present! Miss Giselle Brett. We understand that you are studying under Dr. Wilson at Yume University. Doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence, perhaps, into a deadly poison.
What?
Poison? Where are you going with this, counsel? A toxin known as curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection! What complete and utter nonsense! You rare, you say? I've never even heard of it.
You wouldn't have done.
What do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't exist.
Correct. Which means, no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they never identify curare. Table slam. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison.
What?
Oh, I'm losing my voice doing that.
Order, order, order. Council, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this report, authored by the visiting research student from England, Curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known amongst European doctors and scientists.
To lace your arrows.
The report states that it's produced from a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle, and it was first brought to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Objection. Trumpery. These dispersions are utter trumpery. To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and other diners would have surely noticed.
That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector? Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that.
I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain.
According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean the other way around?
The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used. Explain yourself, Counsel. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible. Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed.
But I don't follow, Cosmo. That's just
Oh,
paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death.
The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe, it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail.
Respiration?
In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation.
My god. That's actually
And all
quite...
the while,
Mm.
the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move.
A lot more gruesome than I thought it would be.
but it also explains the burn thing. He probably
Yeah.
collapsed, and then his hand just nice landed on the hot plate.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's...
This is like previously a Japan-only game, and remember on the 3DS, and the 3DS era of Phoenix Wright was when they started to make the games a lot more gruesome.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That's hideous.
To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell.
You're right, this isn't very much for kids, but eh.
That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison. You're suggesting that this bottle, Counsel, actually contains this terrifying poison?
Objection. This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing. What a happy tale for the defense.
Sorry.
If I may. All these facts. You think you're so clever, but you should be taught some... Oh.
I don't know whether I love her or hate her. I really, really hate her. It is you who must be taught.
Of course. Dear lady. So, this
This is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal another's honest hard work and then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act.
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual.
Ooh. Whatever do you mean?
Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime? That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Objection. Enough of this. I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules.
What?
What's so funny? Oh, excuse me. Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett?
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
He's gonna drink from it.
Ooh. Hmm?
Yes, I don't see, why not?
She might drink from it, you're right.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my gosh, she actually. Don't get too big for your boots. Insignificant little island boys.
What the fuck?
Ooh.
It, isn't Great Britain an island
Yeah,
too?
aren't they also an island?
Sorry.
Is Japan a bigger island?
It feels like Japan's a bigger island, but
Right.
but that's because it occupies a lot more vertical space.
Ah, that's true. To an English woman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics, it's laughable, really. Yeah, offender in Japanese. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers.
That's not how a British person says cheers.
Go on then.
Cheers.
Cheers.
No, it's cheers.
Oh, right.
There's no R sound.
I love my
Cheers.
R sounds now. Wait, what are you doing? Have we seen her eyes yet? No, right?
No.
Hmm. No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. Silent in Japanese.
It's Japanese silence.
Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned.
So, no curare. Bottle was clean, is that what you're saying?
You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind.
Ah,
Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
yeah, yes, Miss Brett?
I bet she put it in his glass, and that's why the glass was in her bag.
Yeah, that's how she took the glass.
Yeah. I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you have given. This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. So how? How did she? How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it.
Well, I suppose if nothing else, this Little Far Eastern charade. It'll make for interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London. There has to have been poison in that bottle, doesn't there? Well, there can't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over dead. Come on, Ryunosuke, we have all the clues now. That bottle of water contains no poison. As I thought, there is no poison in that bottle.
What? Why, Ryunosuke?
Isn't it obvious? If there was poison in there, she'd be dead by now.
Huh. Sometimes your unadulterated naivety really astounds me. But sometimes it's in need of a good staining. Until it's as dark as your uniform in the ways of the world.
Oh my god.
Staining.
She's been injecting the poison a little every day to build immunity to it. She vaccinated herself against the poison.
There's no way.
Oh, is that what this color's supposed to represent?
That was a guileless ending to a promising line of inquiry, Counsel, for which you will be penalized.
What? This whole trial is poisoned. There has to have been poison in that bottle. Doesn't there? But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over dead. I guess contains poison. The culprit did put Curare poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position.
You're serious?
Objection. Fool, are you blind? There is no possible way that bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw.
Miss Brett drinking the water from it? That's right. Which rather complicates your argument, I think.
And I believe that complication can be explained.
How exactly? I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be.
Very well, if the defense truly intends to assert this claim, I must ask that you support the assertion of evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume the supposedly poisoned water unscathed?
I want to present this because if she was sitting here, then this would have been her glass, right? Which means the glass that was taken was not hers. Right?
I have no idea.
I'm just going to try it. Hi!
It seems the defense, or should I say the wretched accused,
Yeah.
it's the only real source of complication in this case. You'll have to think harder than that, defendant.
Sorry, Your Excellency. I'll try to find some better supporting evidence.
You're making this complication more complicated than it needs to be.
Alright.
Also, it's not that.
Yeah, alright. I'll do my best to find an answer that fits the facts.
It should be the glass in the bag, probably.
Or do you
Oh.
wanna... Yeah?
No, the glass in
Can
the
you,
bag.
can you, can you examine the report?
Poison made from bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. Hunters of the region use it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Instant paralysis of the entire body, subsequent death, even in minute doses. The above mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the... Oh my god. Okay.
What?
Read the rest of it.
The poison... the effect occurs when the poison enters the body through a wound. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have applications as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of full body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation. Okay. Hi. The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report. Objection. That's not a valid explanation. No? After all, we don't speak English. Their point is utter gibberish.
What the
Oh my
fuck?
god.
The impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your
That's
Excellency.
terrible.
How
not
is this
trying to
man an
ridicule.
actual prosecutor?
I don't. Listen, there's a reason why he's the baby cases prosecutor. I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I'm just reading Susato-san's notes.
I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court.
I like how the judge is saying we're not going to consider evidence.
We'll
Evidence?
direct this to
Nah,
the
I can't
pertinent
read it.
section, Counsel.
Special characteristic.
Yes.
We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison. And it's left me curious about something.
Curious?
Oh, Counsel?
Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years. The heads of the arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting.
So, we've been led to believe, yes?
And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat. Get to the point, please. But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat?
Yes! Good point.
So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because they'd be eating poison.
Good gracious, Counsel. No, that would be madness.
But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound.
Through a wound, you say? I see. That makes sense.
Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me though. Silent in British. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When curare enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever. What? Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew the curare's special characteristics. And you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself. You meddling little... Oh! It moved! We called it.
Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out
Shugetsu did call it.
you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be.
Really? Me? A lawyer? Objection! All this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure, but I fail to see how it... Oh man, I was hoping we see your eyes, damn. So, the ill-bred little puppy has been... So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly. What are you trying to say? Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw. It's good. Schoolboyish?
Flaw.
I like how they both focus on different parts. As even your brain has managed to deduce, curare is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric suckers. Oh, suckers. Oh, well, yes, of course. Gastric suckers. What are they? So, If this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? Ah, that's right.
Good gracious.
That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy would be able to understand, no?
Order! Order in court! Order! The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected the same way. Are you trying to suggest?
Yes, this Curan poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that. Ooh. What is this welling up inside me? I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey.
You became straight.
God. I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett. How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well that there is no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. He wants to bang her? No, man, he wants to bang his best friend that's right beside him. He's so turned on by the law. You're alive. You're alive. But Mr. Wilson is dead. Oh!
Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence. We now know that this poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the Curer? Please, you know this.
I wonder what it could be. Oh my god, it's so tough. It's this, right? It's the burn mark?
No. What was so special about Dr. Wilson's mouth?
Mouth?
Oh, surgery.
Oh. Wait. God. Take that. As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. I completely forgot about the surgery. I genuinely thought he just touched it with the burn mark.
I also thought that too.
Yeah, my bad. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners.
A fatal difference.
Duh! The toxic effects of Curare are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. Yeah, that's true. A burn mark would cauterize it. What if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water?
Oh my god, Reno's case only turned British.
Inside? Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. No, but I'm just thinking, like, wouldn't that be? What if you you had an ulcer and you
Yeah, I was
drank that
thinking
water?
ulcer
You'd
too.
probably die.
You just die. She could have just
Yeah.
died if she had an ulcer.
But she probably knew she did.
Ugh.
True. Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day.
So, that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this.
I can't laugh femininely. Here, is she
Haughty British feminine laughter.
laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are also puerile. Puerile? water. What? What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. Is she running? You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it. No! Oh my gosh, you're gonna break it. I mean, it could just slip.
Oh, she broke it, didn't she?
She's going
Yep.
to. Ooh. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. No!
What is it? What just happened?
happened? Oh my
The
god.
English woman, she
I
just
can't
smashed
believe
that
it.
bottle.
Wow.
The Supreme
my
Court, what a
goodness,
terrible
wow.
blunder. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of the water from that broken bottle as possible at once.
You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. Can someone show what's a feminine laugh? What's a feminine laugh?
Just do the Ojo-sama laugh.
Oh!
How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was poison in a bottle. Or not.
You.
And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution? No, of course, of course, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady. That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. So of course, the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
Objection. No, you killed the victim that day, using Curare. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun.
Yeah, you get him. You get him, boyfriend.
Then, the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor and his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime.
I need to work on that. What a wonderful imagination you have, young man.
Huh.
Hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence.
Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Mm.
This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but now, is she really going to get away with it? The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene.
Ryunosuke.
Yeah?
We've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it.
What? What do you mean?
You've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head.
In my head. Isn't that just making up evidence?
You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend on.
Well, yes, it's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
So think back again now. Try and remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell.
What I saw, what I felt, every color. Is the bullet wound gonna be like a stake? Oh my god. Is it actually? Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head, could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue.
Huh. You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Rinosuke? Come on then. Let's wipe that smug smile off that Englishwoman's face with some evidence.
All right, I can't wait. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. He bit the stick that was laced in the poison. Yeah, don't question the phrasing. I'm gonna say that it's this, like, cause I remember they mentioned at the start of the case that it was that they don't like tear into the bodies. They just kind of look at them, right? So maybe it could just be steak sauce. I don't know. It's here somewhere. The clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been is... No.
Don't
Is-
overthink it. Don't overthink it.
It turns
Don't
it
overthink.
changes colors, right?
Don't overthink it.
I'm not.
You are. There's one thing that stands out.
Take that. Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. If you let me overthink it, I will not stop.
Yes. What is it?
Yeah, he's still miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you've said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you?
Absolutely.
I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day. Objection. Wait a minute. Where are you going with...
Shut up.
Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate the steak was served on was a splattering of blood. What? Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case. Duh. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there is no way that blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Ah.
Yes. For blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies that the plate was between the victim and the shooter. Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor, as you were. Just say, oh, Brett.
I beg your pardon? Then beg. This is beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense. Is this court seriously expected to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing?
This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to.
Inspector, you mean?
Yes, I took the plate, in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime.
Oh, Hosonaga.
I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it.
You did what?
I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. I did it all in the name of justice.
I love him
Great.
so much. Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a blood stain on Miss Brett's plate. God bless this man. True. We must examine it now.
Inspector.
Hmm?
Well, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir.
Yeah. God bless Deus Ex Machinas.
Check your DMs. Here's what you ordered. The steak.
Did he just... The waiter came out again?
Yeah. Wait, do you think we can finish this? If not, I think this is actually a decent place to.
No, it goes on for much longer than this.
Are you
Are you
serious?
kidding me?
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Let me just. Let's
How
just
did they
save
even
it.
manage to drag this even further?
I don't know. Wait, how do I save?
I got a Q options.
Oh, my bad. G. Because I think we're all kind of running out of brain
Yeah,
space. I've been,
nearly 3 hours.
been conflating all my voices at this point. Okay. Shall we just end it here? What? I think this is a good place to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has almost been 3 hours. Thank you guys so much for joining. I know there's been some connection issues, so we'll put the VOD will be on YouTube. So go sub to my YouTube. This is the new shield. The new shields go sub to my YouTube. That's it. Thank you. Okay, I'll see you soon. Everything will be on YouTube in about 2 hours, so I'll send a link in the Discord. Thank you guys. Yeah, I'm trying to fix it. We'll see. Okay. Thank you so much for joining, and go subscribe to the YouTube channel for all the VODs that are uninterrupted. Okay, see you guys. Bye.